the Standing Rock have been fighting back against the pipeline that is being proposed in North Dakota. There's been protests in North Dakota, and they have done several things, not just protests, but filed suit. They had lost in an original court filing, but they appealed up to a federal court, and now that sentence just came in a little while ago. In a two-page ruling issued Sunday night, the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia denied the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe's request for an injunction against construction on the project along a small stretch of land while its lawsuit over the pipeline moves forward. That is not good news. Let me give you further details. Construction on federal land near Lake Oahe remains on hold. However, the federal government has not yet granted Dakota Access's developers the easement necessary for construction to move forward there. So Dakota Access, don't get fooled, is the pipeline people. They don't actually have anything to do with the tribe. They don't have anything to do with North Dakota. They would just like access to the Dakotas, hence Dakota Access, I suppose. And they want construction to move forward. The one win that the protesters have had is, even though they might have lost in the courts so far, they did get the federal government to go, wait a minute, we did not do enough due diligence to figure out if this pipeline is in the right place and if it's should be granted the easements that they need on federal land for them to build a pipeline through federal land. Dakota Access lawyers said last Wednesday that the company would move forward with the work if the court ruled against the injunction request. Now, I don't know if that means they're going to violate the government orders because the government says you can't move forward. They now are saying that. Now, it turns out there are protests where they're doing the construction, and all of a sudden those protesters are getting cleared out by the police. Remember, there's two different things here. There's the court, and the court says, no, the tribe has lost here for now, okay? Then there's the government saying, hey, you still don't have an easement yet. I've blocked that. But it appears that the people with the money, the pipeline, by the way, is in a project worth about $3.7 billion. So there's a lot of money on the line. They believe confidently, oh, the government's going to get out of the way. In fact, the government's on our side. That's why we're going to send in the cops. So the cops do go into a protest, and they start arresting people. The first person they arrested was actress Shailene Woodley. Now, she's out there. She's fighting the good fight. This is what I love. Civil disobedience, saying, okay, you know, you think that you're going to do this project, but the Standing Rock Sioux tribe here have a great claim that you should not do it through their sacred lands, and you should not do it through the water, which is all of our water, and then they feel that it is part of their cultural heritage to protect that water. So now when you go do that, if there's money on the line, they're going to come for you, and they did. Let's watch this. She was live streaming it as the cops came to arrest her. Watch.
I don't know if you guys heard me, but I was just walking back to my RV, which is right there, so that we can go back to camp peacefully. And they grabbed me by my jacket, and they said that I wasn't allowed to continue, and they have giant guns and batons and zip ties, and they're not letting me go.
We're talking to them right now.
She's with us.
Yeah, not right now. You need to take a few steps back.
Talk right here.
We can't talk right here, I guess, if you want, but right now you're going to be placed under arrest for criminal trespass, all right? Okay?
I have one question. I was down there.
I'm not going to answer the questions right now, but right now,
Wait, but
you're going to be placed under arrest for criminal trespass.
okay, great. But why am I being arrested and no one else is who was down there? Is my question. Because I'm
Right now, they've
famous?
been told that.
Is it
received
because
word
people
that you
know who I am?
trespassed on the property, so you're being placed under arrest.
Yeah, but so did hundreds of people. We were all down there.
You
When
were
you asked us to
identified.
leave, we did.
You're identified.
You're
so-
identified.
All right, I'm being arrested. Because I was trespassing like everyone else. But as soon as you guys asked me to leave, I left.
You left.
She was down there. Everybody was down
We all
there.
left.
I'm being arrested. I was down there with everybody else. I don't know what's going on. As soon as they came, I left. It's because I'm well known. It's because I have 40,000 people watching. All right, so everybody knows we were going to our vehicle, which they had all surrounded and waiting for me with giant guns and the giant truck behind them, just so they could arrest me, so they knew this would happen. I hope you're watching, mainstream media. I hope you're watching.
Ask where she's being taken.
Yes, stay back.
May I ask where she's being taken? May I ask where she's being taken?
You guys got your back.
They were waiting because they said that we were going back
So two things I want to point out there. It was not an accident that they arrested her first. She's live streaming, 40,000 people watching at the time. By yesterday, I haven't even checked it today, that number had gone up to 2.4 million people. No. It wasn't that they had to get Shailene Woodley out of there. They had to get the camera out of there. So the last thing they want is for this to pick up steam. Go and get the camera first. And too late, it's already out there. Millions of people have watched it already, and a lot more will watch this as well. So she's the star of the Divergent series, of course, star of the movie Snowden. So they go to get her first, but they did arrest others. And that's going to relate to my second point in a second. Police say she was one of 27 people arrested on charges of criminal trespass and engaging in a riot. Really? You saw the video there. Did it look like they were rioting? Seems a bit much, don't you think? Okay. So maybe they have some sort of technical definition of rioting in North Dakota that the rest of us are not familiar with. And that don't look like a riot to me. Trespass. Now, look, conservatives will look at that and go, well, she said she was trespassing. We got her. But if when the cops come, they leave, what is the point of the cops in arresting them? Is it to get them off the land? But wait a minute, they're already off the land. No. The point is to send a message. Don't come in here with your protests. We're on the side of the moneyed interests. And so that's who the government is going to back. Now, wait a minute now, though. The government says that there's an injunction on these guys right now. They don't have the easement. And so shouldn't the cops be on the side of the protesters? Now, I get it that those things there's a slight disconnect because they're trespassing on the private land. But if the government is there to protect both sides equally, they say, hey, can you get off the land? They get off the land. Problem solved. No. They're sending a message. Don't come around here trying to get what you want and trying to fight for your rights. We're not interested in that. And the message we're going to send is, guys, by the way, with heavy weaponry, it didn't seem like Shailene was that much of a threat, no matter how much they want to call it a riot. Now, at the end of the day, she paid a $500 fine and was ordered to appear in court on October 24th. But that wasn't the point. The point is, stop the live stream. Stop paying attention to this. We want to be able to do this without you guys rallying more people to this cause and bringing more people in here. So if there's money to be made, we're going to go ahead and make it, and we're not going to care that much about your land and your water and all that stuff. And here are some progressives causing us trouble. And by the way, at the end of the article here in the USA Today, there was a BBC article I quoted earlier. Because it's Shailene Woodley, there was a People article, and so many different entertainment blogs picked it up as well, and traditional news media. But at the end of the USA Today article, they explain protesters have targeted the Dakota Access Pipeline out of concern for its effects on the local ecology and climate change, as well as the use of eminent domain to hand over privately owned agricultural land to a private corporation. Bingo. That's exactly why it's so important for people like Shailene Woodley to go out there. That's why it's important for people like you from time to time to go out there. Whether this is the cause you believe in, it's another cause. We've got to get out there and do activism, because at the end of the day, what happens? The message that they wanted to bottle up, it gets out there to a broader and broader audience. And at least we begin to have the conversation we need to have on these issues. So the people protesting out there, great job. No matter how much they wanted to stop you, you did get your message out. So what happens next is going to be interesting. If the government lifts the injunction, and obviously the courts have ruled the other way here, and they want to start construction, I honestly don't know what happens next. But I know that we'll be watching and we'll be covering it. So far, these entertainment websites, et cetera, have picked it up. CNN, anybody? Anybody? Television? Anybody? We got a star here. I know you guys like stars. Bueller? Anybody? All right, well, at least you got us. Together we can change the media, make it more representative of you and not the powerful. Come join us, make a difference. tytnetwork.com/join.